My ex and I are divorcing. I banned his daughter from living with me.
Oh, double whammy.
Yeah. Get them all out of your life in one fell swoop. This is to answer the question of, are breakups and divorces always expected?
That's so sad.
Yeah.
It's a sad question.
Do they sometimes hit you out of nowhere? Who's to say?
Are they always expect, like, so anytime I get in a relationship, should I always expect for them to break up with me?
No, more like, are you, like, you're experiencing a lot of fighting and there's, like, red flags going on and you're like, oh, this relationship is heading, you know, we're about to divorce.
Okay.
You know,
okay,
like, you're
okay.
expecting it. Not like you start a relationship and you're like, break up.
I'm like, what kind of question is this?
No. I don't know. I didn't have a lot of time. So, No Move 8357 says, my ex and I are divorcing. My daughter, 17, and I are in the process of moving our stuff into our new place. I got one of these moving pods that's out in front of the old house, and my stepdaughter, 15, started moving her stuff out to it. I told her, stop. Ouch! Wait. Oh, that's so sad. Wait, so they're divorcing, and OP and her daughter were moving the stuff out, and the stepdaughter started helping, and then OP was like, no, you're not coming with.
That's so sad. 15.
That's so... Oh, I need to know how long this relationship had lasted, because that is really tough. At first, I thought she was confused and thought it was for her and her mom's stuff. The plan is for them to move back to my ex's home state. My stepdaughter wasn't confused about that, though. She thought for some reason that she could move with me and my daughter to our new house in town, so we got into a whole discussion about it. My ex was involved. Turns out her daughter is very upset about having to move because she doesn't want to leave her friends, her school, and go to a place that is so backwards. After talking, my ex said she understood where she was coming from and asked me to let her live with us at least during the school year. First off, I think it would be weird for her to live with us since her mom and I aren't married anymore. It makes more sense for her to go live where both her parents are. Logistically, it also presents an issue because our new place is smaller than this one, so she would have to share a bedroom with my daughter, and I know my daughter would hate that, so it doesn't seem fair to force that on her. Edit, because people keep asking. We got married about 6 years ago.
Ooh.
That's a long time.
Keep. One more.
Okay.
Sentence.
My ex did also say she would pay for expenses. People, please stop suggesting I get a bigger place. I just bought our new place. I am not selling it and getting a different place.
6 years. So she's been there since she was 9 with this person.
I don't think it is necessarily a problem. I don't think OP is the a-hole for not wanting to do this. I don't think this is necessarily her responsibility. However, I also looking like from the point of view of the 15-year-old, that is really hard. That's a really hard thing to deal with. This has been her mother figure since she was 9. And now she is being told that her parents are splitting up. She has to move like states, and like leave all of her friends behind. And the person, like a girl that she's seen as her sister behind as well.
Not a good time for her.
Yeah.
Honestly, okay, not the a-hole for sure. But
yeah,
angel or devil is my question. Would you rather be the angel or a human? Maybe not devil, but human.
Yeah. He's definitely not the angel.
I would be the angel in this scenario.
That's the thing. OP totally has a right to be like, this is not legally my daughter. My ex-wife has a responsibility to her, and I shouldn't have to have that responsibility. I think that OP is, not the a-hole for that. It just, like, is really sucky for this poor 15-year-old to learn that this man doesn't even, see her as a daughter anymore.
Oh.
That is really ouchy. It's really ouchy. Yeah. No, I don't think he's the a-hole. It's just a really sucky situation, and he's for sure not the angel.
Do you think he should be the angel?
I think I would probably have a conversation with my daughter and say, hey, would you be open? Because it seems like he just kind of assumed that she wouldn't like that. I would say, hey, would you be open to sharing a room just for this year or half the year? And if she's like super against it, then that is, I think, an answer. But if she says, you know what, I want it, like, I'm okay with being with my sister for, another year just so she can keep going to school. I think have a conversation with your daughter first before assuming things either way.
Let's say, maybe get more context.
Yeah, I need a little bit more context. There are irrelevant comments, though. Shammy Dammy says, not the a-hole. Where did she get the idea that somehow she was moving in with you? OP says, it's more that she thought it was an option. Her mom told her they were moving back to her home state. Which, again, like, she's a 15-year-old who has seen this man as her father for 6 years. I really don't fault her.
She was 9.
They should have had that conversation with her mom beforehand.
That's when memories form.
Yeah, they should have briefed this poor child. Gamer Green Eye says, not the a-hole. It's normal for a child that age to be upset about moving away. Not your fault. Her mom should have talked it out with her. And OP says she did. It seems like she didn't do it effectively enough.
I think she did it, told her what was happening.
Yeah.
The 15-year-old didn't want to accept it and thought she could
try and sneak in. Yeah. That's really tough. Commenter says, not the a-hole, but she's known you since before she was 9. Assuming you didn't get married, that's so true. Within the year of meeting your mom. Yeah, she probably knew her before then if they were dating for a while. So it's normal she feels close enough to you where she thinks that's an option. You should talk to your daughter to see if she would be comfortable with the situation. Maybe your daughter feels sisterly enough where she would prefer to share a bedroom than to be away from her stepsister. And if your daughter is okay with sharing a room, then talk to your ex to get the child support because that is not legally your child. And OP responds, no, my daughter definitely does not want to share her room. She never grew that close to her stepsister. Okay, then I think that is somewhat of an answer. It's still really hard. And then commenter says, everyone sucks here. To be in a child's life from 9 to 15, it sounds like she probably views you as her father. She didn't even question that she could continue living with you. Has she been in contact with her bio father if he's out of state? If not, it kind of pivots. You're the a-hole. The more I read, the more I kept reading that this girl is unwanted by all her parental figures. Bio dad is a quote-unquote pushover who lives states away. Mom says it's okay to stay while she moves states away. Stepfather of most of the girls of the child's memorable life says no. That poor girl. I think it's strange after 6 years of being her stepfather, you haven't connected to her at all. And OP responds, her father does keep in contact and visits. And then OP responds to multiple questions on if his daughter gets along with his soon-to-be ex's stepdaughter. OP says, they got along most of the time, but my daughter never grew attached. And then OP was asked if he is willing to get a new place and let his stepdaughter stay. OP says, I am not willing to sell my new place and get a new one. It would be a waste of the real estate commission. And OP on why his ex-wife is moving back to her home state and if the father is over there. OP says, housing prices are too much for her. All their family is back in the state they're moving back to. Her father does keep in contact and visits. Her father is back in her mom's home state. And there is an update, but yeah, I think the answer is that she just needs to move in with her mom because it doesn't seem like he or his daughter, like, it sucks. He seems, Amandine CB says he seems very detached, which is what I'm reading into this. I feel like there is something missing from the story. But yeah,
eating,
maybe their fallout was not, like, the fallout in the relationship wasn't good. I don't think that OP has any responsibility to this girl. I think it's just I am putting myself in her shoes, and I'm like, that's a really tough situation for the 15-year-old. When the adult figures in your life are kind of, separating and you're wondering where that leaves you. Yeah. This is really hard. But there is an update.
All right.
What did you think though? Do you think angel, not angel? What's your?
It is depending on how the divorce went.
Mm-hmm.
I would be the angel if the divorce went well, and it does seem like he's detached, and I hate that the sister, like, it just didn't work out and the family didn't work out.
Yeah.
It's so tough. But the 15-year-old will have to like learn how to be in a new state.
Yeah.
And if the home life she's going to is worse, I would try to keep her around. You know?
Yeah.
Because earlier they were like, everything that she knows is backwards there.
Yeah.
That would be really tough on someone going through this.
Yeah.
It's not his responsibility.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's not his responsibility. It's literally just like, I am thinking about her and I feel bad. Let's get into this update and find out more. So I talked to my ex privately and she said she understood. So we ended up getting together and having a talk with her daughter to make sure things were very clear. She was still very upset and ended up locking herself in her room. We thought we would give her some space, but later on, though, there was some fighting between her and my daughter, which was unusual because they haven't really fought before. In the end, I decided it would just be easier if we moved out sooner than expected. We might have to shuffle things around while we paint, and we don't have all our stuff here yet. Despite that, I think it's for the best. Overall, it is a less difficult and awkward living situation. In a week or so, we should be settled. And one comment to finish this story off. Amazing Reality 2980 says, sounds like you handled it as well as you could, and though the current living situation is less convenient, it sounds like it's better for everyone involved. Having to move and change schools while in high school is different, but your stepdaughter will adjust to her new home and make new friends. And this is to answer the question of, are breakups and divorces always expected? And it seems like it really wasn't expected for this daughter.
The villain story on this girl.
Yeah.
Go crazy.
Youch. Man, youch. Yeah, OP's not the a-hole, just definitely not the angel. Which I don't think he necessarily has to be. It just sucks for his daughter. For the daughter, actually, not even his daughter. I think I'm just like, I guess I'm interested in his relationship with this girl. Because he doesn't refer to her as his daughter, or like,
if he did, she'd be moving in.
Yeah, doesn't mention whether or not she called him dad or anything. I'd love to know a little bit more about it, because it seems like they never really bonded, or at least he never really bonded with her, nor did his daughter bond with her. But she seems to have developed a stronger attachment. Yeah. I don't know, man. But that's the end of this story, and there is another one. So let's get into it. My dad sprung a divorce on my mom, and I don't know what to do. And this is to answer the question, are divorces and breakups always expected?
It sounds like the best prank ever. You never saw it coming.
She never saw it coming. April Fools, you're divorced. So lesbian writer 2627 says, I, 21 female, live at home with my mom, 47 female, and dad, 59 male, in the UK.
Hello there.
My dad works from home teaching online, and my mom has her own small business that I work for alongside her. My mom and dad have always been different in the sense of he is a complete townie and my mom is a farmer's granddaughter, a country girl through and through. His ideal holiday is going abroad, and my mom's is camping and caravanning.
Whoa.
Look at you. That's you right there.
That is me.
Even though they have different views/preferences, they always seem to have gotten along and loved each other. This morning, though, my dad sat her down and said that he wanted a divorce. I think it's always really surprising when one person in that doesn't even expect it at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's really hard to deal with when you don't even know where it came from. Because I think a lot of times in breakups and divorces, you have inklings about it. And you can kind of sense it coming.
Like the bedroom's not doing so hot, dead bed.
Yeah, or like you're not talking, you're fighting more, but here it seems.
The dishes aren't getting put up as well. There's like little food things that you notice, like the lasagna used to taste a little bit better, but now it don't.
Now it tastes like hate. Neither me or her knew what was going on. Just last week, he was planning a surprise getaway for their 20th wedding anniversary next year. And now he says he's been thinking about divorce for a while and just can't do it anymore and pretend he's happy. My mom was in shock, so we left the house for a few hours. She was in tears and just didn't understand what was happening. Neither did I. I thought it was a joke at first because it was so sudden, and I always thought if either of them did ever want a divorce, there would be conversations about it. But no, which I think that you should always, whenever you are having issues in your relationship, you should bring them up. When we came home, he was in his office and we haven't seen him. We did, however, get a few messages from his side of the family telling us they are thinking about us. So he has told everyone. That's annoying. All of his friends and family that live on the other side of the country know.
How would you wait?
I would wait at least until I've had a conversation with my partner. I think that's kind of ridiculous that it's seemingly based off of this post, he out of nowhere said, I want a divorce. OP took her mom away to like get some fresh air. And then he told the whole family.
Seeing a lot of cheating in the chat.
Yeah. Dixie Blue Steel says there's definitely someone else.
He's a townie, and he talks online because online education.
Yeah.
Can't trust him.
Yeah,
Unless
I
you're
don't
here
know.
And you do online education, we trust you.
It all seems very sudden, and I just don't like that he told everyone without talking to his partner about that, because that's a big deal. And I think that, regardless of whether or not the relationship is continuing, I think that is still something that you have to involve your ex-partner in. We then, or at least just give her like a week at the very least.
Yeah, at least.
Give her a second. We then got a message from him saying he's moving out and has rented a studio for 8 weeks and will be leaving tomorrow. He planned this. He's been planning this. I mean, WTF. My mom asked if they could talk about it, maybe try marriage counseling or something, but he said no, and that it would be best for her to find a lawyer as soon as possible. Then he went back into his office. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to help her. She just looks so broken down and cries every time she thinks about it. Any advice would be appreciated, and I apologize for the long ramble. I just don't know what to do. I don't really have any friends, always been the silent loner type, and just need to vent a bit. Thanks, Reddit. And Edit, thank you for the comments already. For so many of those replying saying he's having an affair, he is adamant there isn't anyone else. But just to put my mind at ease, how could I check? I know for certain he couldn't have gotten anyone pregnant, though. I'm not even his biological daughter, but wasn't sure if that was relevant in the post. He met my mom when I was 5 months old, and my bio dad has always been MIA. And there is an update.
Ooh.
But let's pause.
Ooh, there is an update.
Yeah, there is an update.
Is UK a fault state?
I don't know.
Someone
from the UK, let us know.
UKians. UKian Aryans. What do you call them?
I don't trust him. One, the fact that he is so quickly moving on, letting all of his family members know that he's getting a divorce feels like, so I'm not in the wrong when I move on to someone else. And also he's getting a new place.
Dude.
Yeah.
The family's in on this?
Yeah. No, I don't think they're necessarily in on it. I think it's just like now there's no way anyone, like, let's say he starts dating someone in the next 2 weeks. He can be like, oh, there's no overlap because I'm divorcing my wife. So he just has that kind of, his family is aware. That is what I'm thinking. I feel like he might be cheating. This feels really sudden.
Very sudden. I want to be happy now.
Yeah.
Who else is making you happy?
Who's making you happy, buddy? And also just going back to it, regardless of whether he's cheating or not, I think this is divorce, and also I don't know. Yeah, divorce and breakups are big deals. And I think that throughout the relationship, you need to be making sure that you are setting boundaries and bringing up things with your partner, because otherwise you're letting all of this build underneath the surface like this guy was, and making yourself more and more unhappy until the day where like you just pop. And everyone's like, what just happened? What do you mean you're leaving?
What do we say, Sophia?
What?
The grass is always greener where you water it.
So true. Water that grass and talk to your partners.
Smack that ass.
Let them. That's a good motto. Let them into your head.
Where you throw.
Stop.
Sorry, I don't know where that came from. I need to get off this. Just keep going.
I need to get out of this. No, I was just gonna say, Yeah. Understandably, it is hard to talk to your partners, but do it. All right, let's get into this update. 2 days later.
Woo! Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
So he successfully moved out yesterday, a day later than he originally planned. But oh well. My mom and I have both chatted to his sister, who lives on the other side of the country, and everyone has reached the agreement that he is having some sort of mental breakdown. Whoa. That's like crazy that it doesn't seem like they're thinking that he's cheating. They just think he's having a mental breakdown. The divorce is totally out of left field for everyone, and he has been behaving irrationally since. We found out that he went on a spending spree and ended up buying a £1,200 phone that he doesn't need, and he has no idea how to even use. He also bought nearly 200 worth of music albums for a concert that he is completely obsessing over. He has also spent nearly 400 on clothes and shoes because he actually took very little from the house before he left.
That's weird. These are all weird.
It sounds like he could also be going through a
what do you call that?
midlife crisis.
There you go, Duchess Cassandra.
Yeah, it sounds like he could be going through a midlife crisis. And maybe he needs therapy. Maybe that's but he doesn't even want it. OP's mom suggested couples therapy, and he was like, no.
He already gave up.
Yeah. Also, he took his computer with him so he could work, but left behind his mouse, keyboard, and headset. He definitely isn't thinking straight. We've all made the decision for him to go down to his sister's for a while, and they're going to stage a mini intervention to see if they can get to the bottom of his thinking, as he really isn't making sense when he talks to anyone. Even his best friend has been in contact, as he's concerned that dad has totally changed and isn't acting like himself. That is everything that is happening so far. Thank you to the few people who actually wrote some advice and didn't jump to the conclusion that he's cheating like we did. Oops. I might update again in a few more days. Yeah, it seems less likely that he's cheating, but I think there is definitely some mental health thing going on. And I think they should, whether it's cheating or not, I think they should get him checked out, maybe see if he can go to a therapist or a doctor. I think that taking him to his sister's is a good idea, though. Like staging that quote unquote intervention. Valley Lily says brain tumor. So does MJ Grow. I think those are all possibilities, and I think he just needs to be checked out, because this is a really sudden shift. It seems like the fact that everyone in the family, including OP and the mom, are like, this is super sudden, super out of character. I think there's something going on. Yeah. Oh, Dixie Blue Steel says my neighbor started acting crazy. It was carbon monoxide poisoning, which isn't that why the witch trials were happening? Salem witch trials, wasn't there?
I don't even know.
I think that they said one of the reasons was possibly carbon monoxide poisoning, because that causes hallucinations.
I need to look into that. Yeah. I love listening to video essays.
Yeah.
I listened to the Cult of Scientology last night.
Oh, that one's crazy. I listened to a podcast about that, but I think it was set in Australia or something.
Dude, shout out to Australia. They were not having any of that.
No.
They were like, we're done. We're not accepting any of that.
No, thank you. But there is another story.
Am I the a-hole to inform my husband that I will divorce him if he continues to defend my brother? Here we are asking the question, are breakups and divorce always expected? So, what topic, if your significant other and your brother were on, that you would definitely be like, I can't do this? What topic would you break up over? Let's say Sam's on to something. Yeah. He's like, you never swam in your life, and then your significant other at the time agrees with you. Would you still be with him?
Oh, damn. If Sam was like, actually, I think Sam's no longer on the Elon Musk trail, but if he was on the Elon Musk trail and my partner was like, Elon Musk, I'd be like, we're done.
I could see that. My husband and I, 29, have been together since high school, and we were introduced by my brother. We have a beautiful 4-year-old daughter who adores Emma, my brother's ex-wife. My brother and Emma have been together for around 4 years. She's an incredible delight to be with, bringing out the best in him. Our entire family cherished her at times. I feel like my parents loved her more than us. And the same was true for my daughter. Emma was a fairy princess to her, and every time we went to take her up, she would cry and urge us to go home and come back tomorrow because she wanted to be with Aunt Emma. That is so sweet.
Oh.
Anyway, Emma was 26 weeks pregnant, 6 months. Thank you. Very nice of you. And we were all looking forward to it. My brother and her had always wanted a baby and seemed overjoyed whenever we visit them. She would have been an amazing mother. Why did we? Oh, that's so sad. Oh my, I knew something was happening. I knew they said this in such a way where everything it was a Jenga, everything's all good.
And then it crumbled.
I don't even want to keep reading this. Emma had been feeling bad and her stomach hurt, so she requested my brother to drive her to the hospital where the doctor said everything was all right and sent her home. She kept saying that she didn't feel right, but my brother dismissed it as an overreaction. And the next day, my brother, husband, and their friends went for a fishing trip. Emma urged my brother not to go since she didn't feel right and needed someone to be with her. My amazing brother became mad, telling her to quit overreacting, that everything isn't about her, and that he needed some time alone. Well, he turned off his phone and proceeded on the trip. Emma called me.
Pause. If anyone ever says they don't feel good, like they're, saying, I really don't feel good, take them seriously.
Yeah, that's your kid in there, dude. Come on.
Especially with a baby.
Emma called me crying and asked if I could come over because her stomach hurts. By the time I arrived, she was half conscious on a bloody floor, rushed her to the hospital. The hospital told they required her husband's signature to carry out the operation. There was a lot of bickering, although they saved her life. Lost it.
Why would they need her husband's signature?
I don't know, because they both made it. I don't know.
For life to...
I don't know. I don't do hospitals. Yikes. She woke up screaming and weeping, asking where her child and husband were. It was horrible. Both of my parents and her parents were in tears when they saw her. I kept calling the guys. None of them responded. When Emma finally calmed down, it was even more unsettling. It was as if she had given up with no soul left in her eyes. My brother returned the next day to an empty, bloody apartment, ran to the hospital, and apologizes to Emma while crying. She looked at him with no feelings and asked for a divorce. My brother grew depressed after that, and he would spend his days drinking in the baby's nursery. None of us really consoled him. I suppose we all blamed him in some way. My husband went to meet him, and when he returned, he told me about the above and asked that I apologize to my brother for neglecting him and console him. I refused. Yeah, dude. I mean, even something... Yikes. Wow. Okay, we got a little bit more. He got angry with me and blamed Emma for the miscarriage, claiming that if she was truly ill, she would have gone to the hospital rather than making a scene, and that my brother is suffering as a result of her idiotic decision. He kept defending my brother, stating that it wasn't his fault and that he wanted some alone time before the baby, and so on. I couldn't take it any longer, so I told him that if he kept defending, I would divorce him. I took my daughter and left for my parents' home. In 2 days, and neither of us has tried talking. I'm not sure if I behaved like an a-hole and recalling all he said, I believe I should at least console my brother. I suppose I wanted options.
Sorry, this was a really sad story.
Yeah, dude. What the heck?
I didn't have a lot of time.
I don't like, I would like something funny with a little bit of a dick joke. I can't give dick jokes with this.
Yeah, this is just sad.
But anyways, I can put my serious face on. I can work through this. So, yeah, this is tough. This is super sad. So we already know that one situation's horrible. This situation, the guy's not budging. I don't even think the guy is listening. She did go to the hospital.
Yeah.
And she tried, and the doctors were like, no, it's fine. It's all good. And it wasn't. And
no, you should when you are a pregnant wife who says there's something wrong, you should drop everything.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You don't get to have alone time. You don't get to have alone time when you're like.
When your pregnant wife needs you, dog. Yeah. Alone time, pregnant wife's needs.
Yeah.
Why'd you even get married? Come on.
You can be alone all the time now. She should divorce you.
You got what you wanted. Yikes. Edit. We're going to figure out if there's more context here. Prior to performing any life-threatening surgery, the hospital requires the patient to sign a waiver. These paperwork can be signed by the patient or their family. Because Emma was not conscious enough, they required her husband's signature. That's why.
That is a ridiculous thing because he wasn't there. What are you supposed to do?
I was alone and confused, and it was just a lot. The hospital agreed after much discussion, but it really caused a lot of unnecessary delay. Oh my gosh. Info. It was a one-night trip. They traveled to a cabin where they claimed there was no cell service. They did not think that there would be no network. Relevant comments. What? The husband said Emma is gross. Am I understanding correctly that during all this, OP tried repeatedly to contact all the guys on the trip, including her husband, and he didn't answer her either? That would be a problem for me as well. He was just ignoring his wife. Kindly add says, this stuck out to me so much. OP has a 4-year-old and her husband couldn't be bothered to answer the phone. That right there would be grounds for counseling and possibly a trial of separation. An emergency happened and none of them answered their phones. Little Bird says the sad reality is they all were probably sitting around talking crap about their wives while they watched the calls come in and ignore them. And that's why he's defending him so fiercely. Guilt manifests as anger options. And are breakups and divorce always expected? This case, should expect it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so sad.
This is really sad, but definitely these two guys are fully a-holes.
Get them out of here. That is so sad. Like, sitting around a circle. I don't think I could ever do that. I would bring up, like, if I was with my buddies, like, if John, Sam, and I went to a cabin and we were all sitting around talking about significant others, we would probably just talk about, like, some of the issues and, like, be like, how can I be a better partner for my person? Not like, well, she just keeps talking about how the dog needs to go to the vet but won't take the dog to the vet, and it's just been my last thing. Or the green beans ain't been shucked in the ground in a while and I have to go can them every week. Like, come on. Love your wives.
Literally. Yeah. No, I think that you should never be... Yeah, when you get to the point where you're, like, bad talking, you're... What's the word?
Bad-mouthing? Gossiping?
Yeah. Yeah, gossiping or bad-mouthing about your partner to other people, beyond just saying, like, hey, I need advice. This happened. Then it's like, maybe you don't. Yeah, maybe that relationship's not working.
What's the percentage of... Sometimes you need to let some steam off.
No, I agree. I think that there are times when it's really helpful to talk to your friends.
What's the percentage, though?
I don't think it's a percentage necessarily.
This is how much I talk about my girlfriend. What percentage can I badmouth her or vent until I should break up with her?
Personally, I think there's a difference between badmouthing and even venting. Actually, I think that you, like, for example, if you came to your friend and you were like, hey, my partner did something and I'm, like, not sure how to address this. I'm asking for advice. Or, like, what do you think about what they did? Blah, blah, blah. I don't think that's necessarily bad-mouthing. It's just saying, like, I need help.
Yeah.
But if you are constantly going, like, oh, my partner did this. Oh, my partner's the worst. Like, I had it, like, I fought with my partner, or you're like, I hate that they did this and stuff. And you're constantly telling all of your friends to that. Then it's...
But I agree with you on that. Sophia's getting us another story. How's them tacos?
They were really good.
Good.
I had these cauliflower tacos. They were very good.
Let's go. Yeah. Cauliflower tacos.
Am I the a-hole for breaking up with my partner after he cheated on me and lied? I don't think so. So, Far Season 695 says, and here it goes, my ex-partner, 29, and I, 28, have been together since high school. About 4 years ago, I had an affair with someone I went to school with.
Ooh.
I lied to my partner about it as they were planning on moving to be with me. It was crappy, I know. My partner had found messages 2 years after that pointed to the signs they had been right about the affair I denied.
Oh my.
Wow. This was 2 years ago. I won't excuse my behavior, but I will say being unmedicated for undiagnosed at the time, BPD, was a factor. So my partner found the messages 2 years ago about the affair I had 2 years prior to that. My partner was understandably shaken up. When it was brought to my attention, they found out about me covering up my past shameless behavior. I cried so hard and asked what they wanted to do next. They said they wanted to stay together and figure it out, as they had already moved in and it was too late to turn back then. They comforted me and reassured me it's what they wanted to do. I did not force them to stay or excuse my actions. I promised to be better and offer them reassurance whenever they needed that it meant nothing and that I loved them. Over the last couple of years, they still need reassurance. It almost felt like everything I did after the fact to reassure them meant nothing. They started to want to leave the apartment we had made home for years. Why would we pay so much money to move in a big city when our apartment is gorgeous? Or if I wanted to go home and visit my parents. 2 years later, my ex acted extremely needy and insecure. I feel like I've agreed to be wrong in every argument ever because my partner had one thing bad happen. Aside from those manipulative instances, we had a strong and loving relationship. I really thought we were soulmates at that point. Anyway, my partner slowly started to change after finding the messages. They started drinking more. I would hear them cry at night. We had separate rooms due to separate sleep schedules. It was awesome, don't judge. They randomly wanted to redecorate and paint our apartment. They got a new job just to have something of their own. It was as if our relationship made them go crazy. Like being with me made them have to discover some part of themselves. I don't know. One day, my partner comes home and tells me that they got drinks with a coworker and that the coworker had kissed them without asking.
Ooh.
I was fuming. I knew it was BS. I messaged the coworker what my ex said, and he was adamant the kiss was mutual. My ex/partner at the time begged me to believe them, but I refused. We broke up. It's been a year, but I'm noticing a lot of our mutual friends keep deleting me on stuff or just ignoring me. I have to wonder if my ex is manipulating them or if I am the a-hole for breaking up, despite it being obvious they didn't want to be with me. Thought I would post here because I feel crazy for leaving a toxic relationship.
Yikes, that was all around toxic.
Whoa. Okay, yeah, toxic from whenever he started cheating. Yeah, breaking it down. First he cheats and then they work through it and then OP's girlfriend seems to develop like insecurities and stuff. In which case I would think that if she becomes so insecure where it's damaging the relationship, I would say maybe that relationship is just shouldn't go on.
Yeah.
However, the switch up at the end, yeah, everyone's saying, people are saying a-hole. I think that switch up, I don't like it because she said, hey, I was kissed by someone non-consensually, and he then goes to the person that did that and they say, yeah, it was consensual, because of course they're going to say that. Why would they say it wasn't? Like,
yeah,
I don't trust that. I'm not saying that, maybe she is lying, but I still think that he is kind of not even double checking that. Yeah.
Weird all the way around.
Yeah. I think regardless, this relationship should not be continued. Yeah. I think this is a toxic relationship on all sides.
If I'm right, she cheated and they decided to stay together.
Yes. Oh no, sorry. So OP cheated and they decided to stay together, and then OP just found out or OP's girlfriend came to them and said, "Hey, someone kissed me without my consent," and then OP broke up with them for that, believing that it was consensual.
Wow.
Which,
Yeah.
I think if you believe that your partner would lie about something like that, then the trust is already just, you can't bring that back. Yeah. That's the end of that story.
And the end of this episode.
Yeah. And all of you people who did hard mode, not the a-hole.
How you
You
doing?
have to stay. You said hard mode. I didn't even say hard mode. You guys said hard mode. So defend why he's not the a-hole. Boy, yeah. This is it.
Yep.
If you love us, make sure to subscribe.
We love you. And see
See
you
you
tomorrow.
tomorrow.